We are delighted to welcome you to a special session with the staff of Life Foundation, albeit remotely. Some of you might not know that Staff for Life has been funding scholarships for its students to attend UWC Dilijan for some time now. Dan Olofsson, a Swedish entrepreneur, business leader, and philanthropist, and his wife Kristin have been very generous in their commitment to the Staff for Life students. Together with Sam Olofsson, Tandeka Mabaso, the executive director, and their team, they have been motivating young people to aim higher and avail themselves of an opportunity to attend UWC Dilijan with the UWC values and the IB educational ethos. Today, we will do our best to do two things: to highlight the special features of UWC and UWC Dilijan, and to demonstrate the educational opportunities of the Staff for Life students who are ready to receive a well-rounded, rigorous education in a truly diverse environment and a unique setting. I will be introducing the participants as we go along, but meanwhile, please feel free to ask any questions you may have in the chat or via the Q&A in Facebook. And I will be introducing Tandeka Mbaso, the Executive Director of Staff for Life. She will join us in a couple of minutes. She's about to settle down. Meanwhile, what I will do is I will introduce Tefo Mosinjani from the UWC National Committee of South Africa. Tefo, can you please start by saying a few words about yourself?
Hi, my name is Tefo. I am one of the co-chairs of the South African National Committee. I went to Waterford 2012, Waterford Club in Eswatini. I don't know if you want me to give you more information or background.
I think it would be good if you share a bit of detail of what your experience was, why you went to UWC.
Oh, okay. I have a statement prepared, but I'm not sure if that's the moment for it. But I went to UWC mostly because I grew up in Botswana, and I wanted to be in an environment with other nationalities. I wanted a very rigorous educational experience that would open many other doors for me. Eventually, weirdly, it brought me back to South Africa, which I truly appreciate because of the kind of self-discovery you get when you are in such an environment of challenging work, challenging experiences, constantly experimenting and trying to understand the world around you. Often brings you back home, which is something UWC gave me. And yeah. I think you're on mute.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. And you said you had a script ready to talk about UWC as a movement. Would you like to do that now?
Yes, please. Okay, so the UWC movement is a unique secondary school system on a global scale. It has been at the forefront of providing world-class education to deliberately diverse groupings of young people while fostering their humanitarian values. For almost 6 decades, the UWC has been developing the talents of young people positioned to be bridge builders. The first UWC, Atlantic College in Wales, established in the wake of the Second World War in 1962 by a group of visionary individuals led by Dr. Kurt Hahn, and UWC schools that have followed the mission to make education a force to unite people, nations, and cultures for peace and a sustainable future. Based on the idea of the multi-dimensional diversity of students accepting and respecting their differences, UWC aims to nurture, through rigorous, well-rounded education, engaged global citizens inspired by the ideals of shared humanity. UWC schools adhere to a principle that everyone deserves a chance. UWC is a network of 18 non-for-profit international schools across the world. Students are usually aged between 16 and 19 years old in their last 2 years of secondary school, a formative time in their education focused on future choices that will determine their life's trajectory. They benefit from learning in a diverse environment that helps broaden their minds and sense of self. All the UWC schools teach the International Baccalaureate Diploma Program. It is a highly rigorous academic program which places high value on experiential learning, community service, and outdoor activities. This complements the high academic standards. There are 2 schools in Africa, Waterford Kamhlaba, UWC of Southern Africa, which I went to university, and the recent new UWC in East Africa, Tanzania, East Africa. And just a few words on our national committee. I'm not sure there's something in the background. It sounds like, okay. Just a few words on our national committee. We are the South African National Committee. We are set up to send South African students and people living in South Africa to any of the 18 UWCs, depending on places we have. Like the scholarship that in partnership with UWC Dilijan and Star for Life, there are other partnerships that we have, but we encourage people to apply, even if they're awarded one of the 2 Star for Life scholarships. There are other ones that we have on offer at the National Committee. The deadline is the 5th of February, and we're excited to read and to look at your applications.
Thank you, Tefo. Let me introduce myself now. I am Gabriel. I'm originally from Spain, and in 1996 I started my career in the United Kingdom as a university lecturer, but then in 2002 I moved to Singapore in a big career and life change, where I started working at UWC Southeast Asia as a Spanish and theory of knowledge teacher. And I performed a number of different roles there over 16 years. And 3 years ago, I moved from a tropical island to a landlocked country in the Caucasus to become the head of UWC Dilijan. UWC Dilijan was established in 2014, the first international boarding school in Armenia, not just in Armenia, in the Caucasus. And it is the only UWC school in the movement in this region. It was funded by 2 impact investors and social entrepreneurs, Ruben Bardania and Veronica Sonaven, with a group of partners and supporters. And they chose the location of Dilijan, situated on the ancient Silk Route at the crossroads of Europe, the Middle East, and Russia. This area is known as the Little Switzerland of Armenia. Before I hand over to our students, Vanelli and Mbali, I would like to invite Tandeka, who is now connected live, so she can tell us about Star for Life programs. Tandeka, over to you. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I first have to apologize for joining a little bit late. I was still on the road, but I'm safe and sound now at home. Thank you for the opportunity. We are an organization. Star for Life is an organization that is based in South Africa and also in Namibia. Basically, the founders are the Swedish couple, which is Christine and Dan Olofsson. They are the one who founded the organization, which has since expanded now to the 3rd country, which is Tanzania. There is also Star for Life that is in Sweden. But the focus with the scholarship is for the learners, the students that are South African based. Mbali and Banele happen to be the fourth, they make the 4 students that have gone through the program. We first had the first 2 that started in 2015, and they have graduated and they are now working. We are so proud of the 2 students that went through the program. From that, we realized how beneficial it is. And ever since Mbali and Banele have joined, there's quite a huge difference that we've seen. I'm sure they have a story also to tell. When they first came back to South Africa to share what the knowledge that they had, it was so amazing. We were really impressed. We were like, they seem to be like the students who are already at tertiary institutions, like university students. The kind of knowledge that they were sharing with us. I'm sure also when they went to their school, the teachers themselves could see that, yeah, they are so independent. I'm really proud of the work that you are doing in the schools. And as an institution or as the organization that empowers young people to realize their dreams, we are not only seeking to give the opportunity to those students who already have everything. But I'm sure if they were to tell their story, they will say, I don't think they ever thought that one day they will be where they are. So that is why we say you must believe in your dreams, and you don't look at the obstacles that you have currently. The current situation might not make you see yourself somewhere, but if you really believe and you believe in the dream that you have, you will really achieve. I'm sure Banele and Bali will share a lot, because if they were to share about their backgrounds, I don't think they ever thought that one day they will ever find themselves flying abroad with an opportunity like this. So we are really thinking that even this time we will be able to find 2 best students who are from the rural areas, maybe again, who will be able to join you and will make Staff for Life proud. I have my team of managers who have joined, and they are the ones who are actually doing the groundwork when it comes to recruiting and also assisting the students in filling in the forms. But they don't write anything for them. The only thing that they did was just to assist them. Everything was coming from them. I mean, the motivation and everything was basically coming from them. So also with the ones that we'll be recruiting, we will allow them an opportunity just to be themselves, to write whatever they want to write, so that it takes them through. I'm sure Banele and Bali will be there also to assist those with their essays. They were very good, I must say. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tandeka. And to those of you joining us, we've been whetting your appetite talking about UWC Dilijan. So let us share with you a virtual tour of the college so you can understand what Dilijan looks like. So that was just a preview of our campus, but the most important thing is the community, the staff and the students. So what's unique about UWC Dilijan, which is quite a unique place? First is the vision of the founders to create a school that would open Armenia to the world and the world to Armenia. And Barley, Vanele, would you like to say a few words about Staff for Life, academics, UWC values, community, CAS, all of that? Over to you.
Thank you so much, Gabriel, for the opportunity. I'm Vanele Komete from South Africa. I first started from Emasangweni Primary School and then went to Dilijan High School, where I first met Staff for Life. And then I've been a Staff for Life learner from grade 8 up until grade 11. And that's when I went to UWC Dilijan. So my role for me and Bali is to talk about how being a Staff for Life in UWC Dilijan is, and we will go further into explaining UWC values, creativities, activities, and services. Not to mention that we will also touch on academics and everything. So Mbali, over to you.
Hello everyone. My name is Mbali Mhlongo. I'll start by talking about the academic life in UWC Dilijan. Well, at first, I won't lie, the first term was very hard for me. For example, coming from Dilijan High School, which is in South Africa, whereby when the teachers are teaching us, mostly they were teaching us in our language, which is Zulu. Most of the time they were not teaching us in English. The only subject they would teach us in English would be the English subjects, or maybe even other subjects, even though they were teaching in English, but they would explain in our language. So when I got to UWC, the first time was very, very hard. Considering that everything is taught in English, and I was not used to that. Also, in academics in general, I didn't know what IP is. I was not used to the system, but luckily, I must say the teachers are very, very supportive and very kind. So I remember I used to have extra classes on weekends and also after school I used to attend extra classes so that I try to catch up and get more understanding of what really is the IP system and what it requires. So that was very, very, very helpful. Yeah. Do you want to add more, Vanille?
Yes, and just to add on what Mbali just said, that not only is IP only hard, but it's also very, very beneficial. For example, we have learned different skills, critical thinking, analytical skills that have helped us in different areas. Not only that, the IP basically it doesn't only stop in classes, but also get a chance to apply it around the world, apply it into real life problems, such as we are doing internal assessments and external essays. It has taught me patience, as I've seen myself improving from term 1 up to term 4. And it has been a really great, amazing journey for both of us. And then, so next thing we're gonna talk about is being a Staff for Life student at UWCD. So being a Staff for Life student at UWCD is one of the most rewarding experience, because you get to be exposed to diversity and other aspects that contribute to your growing development. Not only that, you get to see different things that you didn't know back home. For example, we have learned a lot from different people, staff members, and also students. And I've seen that not only does getting knowledge stops in the classroom, but it's also like happening like outside the classroom. We get to share our culture, our beliefs, our values with different students, and by that's when we get knowledge about life, about the future, and I'm pretty sure that knowledge will help us understand the world better and also make the world a better place, as it is one of the UWCD values. Furthermore, it is very nice to combine UWCD values and Staff for Life values. I Make It Possible. I Make It Possible doesn't only stop from South Africa, but it goes also beyond in UWC, as Mbali and I are still making it possible, and we still go for our dreams.
You know, my favorite Staff for Life value is the one that says, I go for my dreams, which is the one that I think I used to, should I say, maybe practice the most when I was still at Dilijan High School, which is my previous school where I first knew Staff for Life. So I knew that every time where I feel like giving up, where I feel like, no, I cannot do this. So even here in UWC, you know, since the academic life can be very, very difficult sometimes, but it's very beneficial. So I always say, no, I go for my dreams. I'm not gonna give up now. So yeah.
As said, that UWCD values, they also align with Staff for Life values. So right now, please allow me to say my favorite parts of UWCD values. The first one is celebration of differences. Basically, as you know, that UWC is an international community, so we get to celebrate our cultural differences through music, arts, dances. We have really regional evening, which has been really amazing. We have other activities whereby we get to share our culture, whereby we get to understand different people from different areas, and in that way we get to have knowledge on how and that knowledge, I'm pretty sure that that knowledge can be applied in all different areas all around the world. The second one is mutual respect and mutual responsibility and respect. Growing in UWC, in UWCD, we respect each other. Not only do we respect people, but also respect the environment we live in. We respect other people's beliefs and values, while also trying to accommodate everyone so that everyone can be comfortable and make UWCD the better place it can be. The other one is a sense of idealism. Actually, this is like one of my favorites because it's the question, like it is mostly based on the question, what if? So basically in the classroom, when we learn about different topics, we get to ask ourselves, what if we do this? What if we do this? For example, in chemistry is like my favorite subject, and one of the questions I commonly ask myself is that what if I do this, or what if I take this knowledge I get here and apply it to real life? In that way, like what can happen? Like go deeper, like imagining everything. You know what I mean? And there is like we get a chance to apply the things we are thinking, our thoughts, our skills are like in every area we can apply to.
Another thing that I want to touch upon is the community activity services that UWC offers, which is called, in short, it's CAS activities. UWC Dilijan actually offer many CAS activities. For example, I would say one of my favorite CAS activities is peer listening. The reason for that is because, for example, first of all, I like helping people. I like being there for other people. Considering that in my previous school, through Staff for Life, I was a peer educator. And then when I got to UWC Dilijan, when I found out that they also offer peer listening as a community CAS, as a community CAS activity, I was very happy, and I was like, no, I want to continue with this. So from being a peer educator through Staff for Life, I became a peer listener through UWC Dilijan, and that actually it actually benefits me personally also, since I want to be a psychologist. So I feel like it kind of gives me some skills. That I require to be a psychologist, like listening skills, and how to make like hard decision when, for example, there are some times where a student can come to you with much bigger problems where you really don't know how you can help them through their situation, but listen to them. So you also you kind of need to make some hard decisions on there, since it's also like there should be confidentiality between the two of you. So there are times where I'll find myself thinking, should I tell this to maybe like the school psychologist, or maybe perhaps tell it to another professional about the student's problem, or what should I do exactly, since I feel like it's much bigger than me, I cannot solve it. So it's very beneficial. What I can say is that yeah, that's all.
Okay, so I will go to the university programs. Mm-hmm. So as Mbale said, that IB can be very challenging, but also very rewarding. Yeah. So university is one of the most rewarding experiences. So I'm sure that you must be wondering, like, what's going to happen after the International Baccalaureate Diploma Program, like what's going to happen to me and all that stuff. So the good news is we have the university counselor that takes us through the journey of applications to universities. most of the UWC students go to universities, and right now they are doing things that they love. We get to apply into different countries, United States, in the United Kingdom, and also we get a chance to apply back home, as this is a testimony that UWCD values. They don't only stay in UWCD only, but they also get expanded everywhere. As most of my second years are in United States, United Kingdom, and other different areas. So with that being said, we have good news for you. I have good news for you, and also you do. So which is a testimony that UWC, like IB, can be really rewarding, especially when you get to apply to universities. We got accepted to United States. Yesterday we received the notifications. So they are.
I had to unmute myself for that one. Congratulations.
I know.
Oh my word, thank you so much, Ma.
Thank you. Thank you.
So as you can see, this is like a proof that as much as IP can be very challenging, and
it's also beneficial.
Exactly, you get to experience, you get to see everything, you get to get deeper to the knowledge, and you get to make mistakes, but at the same time learn from those mistakes. And then at the end, it's very beneficial. As you can see that we were accepted to United States, and we are still waiting for more options. Not only that, I'm pretty sure that there are some students who may not want to go to universities at the first place, but maybe want to go like into their programs, different projects, like anything around the world. So UWC allows students to take gap year, whereby it's about a self-discovering journey. You do things that you love, you get to explore different cultures, different areas, and then you might find it is like very beneficial, as most of the people can actually like find themselves and do something they really do enjoy. So yes, it is one of the amazing experiences.
Yeah, and also in general, I think you shouldn't really worry about what's gonna happen after life after UWC, all those things. Am I gonna get to universities? Like, what's really gonna happen? You shouldn't worry about that, because we have school counselors, and the whole community in general is very supportive when it comes to that. They make sure that you get to universities. So you shouldn't really worry about that. But also you should make sure that you also work hard and smart.
Yes, indeed. Talking about the school. Okay, this is like my favorite part actually, because I'm gonna talk. I'm gonna talk about like school facilities. So right now I'm in the academic building. So as you have seen in the virtual tour, that we have like a beautiful campus. Indeed. So we have we have the academic building. Academic building is basically where IB takes place, where things happen, where everyone works hard and everyone get a chance to express themselves, where everybody get a chance to like apply the knowledge they learn back home and also the knowledge they learn in UWCD. We have different academic programs starting from language and from studies in language and literature to mathematics, to sciences, humanities, and arts. And all of them, they happen here in the academic building. Not only that, we have different offices whereby when we need help, we can go to those offices from the admissions, advancement, different faculties whereby we can get help, and that is very beneficial to us. As you know, when you are really struggling with something, you can like the help is very near. So UWCD, as Mbali said, is not only about academics.
Yeah, there's
We-
life outside academics.
True that. And we have the sports hall where I wake up in the morning at 6 a.m. and go there to the gym. We have different activities, basketball, volleyball, all of them participating in the growth development of the student, and also like to have that entertainment. It is the way we get to connect with students and staff members. As you can see, that like education and like communication doesn't stop from the classroom, but it goes way beyond the classroom into the sport facilities, whereby we get to do a lot of things, a lot of activities, which are very enjoyable. By the way, we have the big field. I've never seen a field so big. So yeah, and we have
Yeah, in general, I would say that UWC Dilijan is a place to discover yourself. Thank you.
Indeed. As there are some times whereby things will happen and maybe you fall sick. Luckily, we have medical professionals who can help with everything in the medical center and everything. So, yep.
Thank you. And if you have more questions, please let us know. We can answer your questions.
Thank you. You've been brilliant, but I'm quite surprised you have not mentioned your first encounter with the snow. Is there something you want to talk about, living in a country with the snow?
Oh, the snow. This was my first time, by the way, seeing the snow, since this was also my first time traveling to another country. I was so excited when I first saw it. I was like, oh my God, where is this white, how should I call this? Where is it coming from? I was so happy. Do you want me to say?
I mean, for me, actually, I like to act brave most of the time, like I don't care about the weather and everything. But actually, I got that it's actually like really cold.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed singing it for the first time. And like last year, term 3, we didn't have like that much of a snow. But yeah, it was really amazing, really beautiful. Everything, but it's actually very cold. I won't lie, it's very cold.
Yeah, if you come here, you should make sure that you bring warm clothes, because it's very cold. And I think I like it actually. I like it, the fact that it's cold, because I don't like hot weathers most of the time. Yeah.
So that's an introduction to Armenia. Where we are in Dilijan is a fantastic location, and right now in winter, yes, it can be quite cold. But it is fascinating. You see many students who experience snow for the first time. And it's like seeing little children with new toys. It is quite amazing. You haven't mentioned a certain tradition that takes place when it snows and the students do something. Yeah.
Winter ball.
You want to talk about that?
Yes. So, well, we are students, and when there is snow or cold weather, we actually, there is a field. So like I said that there is like a big field. So like the white crystals will like pick this place all in the ground, and then by the time we would all gather around, play, like make like snowballs. It's just like so fascinating, so amazing.
Yeah, it's so much fun. So much fun.
Thank you. Armenia is a lot more than snow and winter. And yes, we do have even ski stations, and we take all of our students throughout the winter season to experience snow sports, not just skiing, but snowshoeing and cross-country ski, etc. Armenia is a fascinating culture. It's a very cultured country with beautiful art. The nature here is amazing. So there's plenty that the country has to offer. A country where almost everyone is bilingual, if not trilingual, with a passion for culture and with family values and friendships. You know that when you get invited to an Armenian home, you're in for a treat. The way they get together, the way they eat and celebrate. So if you don't know anything about Armenia, I do encourage you to check it out, because it is a jewel. It is a very special place. Unfortunately, when people think about Armenia, they will ask, what's the COVID situation in Armenia and what's happening in Armenia? Because I only see things in the news. So I'm very proud of our community because we dealt very well with the pandemic, with the consequences. And of course, there's troubles everywhere with the pandemic, but in spite of all the challenges, we've had a full school throughout the pandemic. The safety of our students is the biggest priority. And we've done, and we continue to do everything we can to keep everyone healthy, safe, and not only that, also engaged and with opportunities to learn and to discover themselves and others. We're very fortunate that we're very well supported by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the Ministry of Health in Armenia, which facilitate visas for our students to come. When Vanele and Mbali came to Armenia, Armenia was actually a closed country. You were not allowed in the country, but we got them visas through the support, and we managed to get them in the country. That's how high the level of support we get is. The same applies this year. The Armenian government continues supporting us. They're very supportive of UWC Dilijan and what we do for the community here. And that's how we can get the students from 80 nations from all over the world here in this little country in the Caucasus, keeping them safe and engaged. And Bali was mentioning earlier the clinic. Not many people are used to working and living in a school where you have a full-time clinic with 24/7 nurses and a resident doctor and a resident psychologist supporting the students. And we do all of that to support the diversity of our students that come from very different backgrounds, so we can maximize the opportunities for them to be the best persons, the best people they can be. It has been difficult throughout, and of course the challenges, of course now it's Omicron, but we continue operating with face-to-face lessons. We've restarted a cash program, we're starting a ski season, we have concerts and activities coming up. The other mention of Armenia in the news is, of course, the conflict in Nagorno-Karabakh and the impact it had. And we can be very open. Of course, it had an impact on our community, but our community stayed together, and not only stayed together safely, we turned this into a learning opportunity and an opportunity to service those around us. There were lots of internally displaced people coming from Nagorno-Karabakh into Dilijan, and we did all kinds of things, from collecting educational materials to clothes and first necessity items to actually collecting food from a produced on campus. We have our own greenhouse, and we collected all the food that we were producing and we sent it so the refugees have access to that food. Even our Turkish students who were invited to leave the country decided to stay here. They wanted to be part of the community throughout the conflict. Our international staff, our international students, all of them together had the opportunity to experience what it means to see war happening and to have people around you who are called to fight or who lose friends or relatives or who were affected directly or indirectly. And that was a fantastic learning opportunity, because many of us hear about war only in the news and we have this very distant understanding of war. But when it's so close, it becomes something very different. Tragic, of course, but something that impacted all of us who were here, and we all learned. And it reinforced our commitment to peace, which is one of the core tenets of a UWC education. And of course, it was service in action, helping those around us. Today, Armenia is in a very different place, open country, lots of tourism coming throughout the winter break, lots of people coming in the summer, safe to travel around, safe to be here. So we're in a very good place to welcome you, the future UWC students and future staff for life, scholars, learners coming to this little jewel of the country. And I think now is a good time to stop and allow any questions you may have. You can ask the questions through the Q&A via Zoom, or you can connect through Facebook and they'll be collected here. So I'll give a minute to see if there's any questions coming through. If not, we have another little video to show you. Meanwhile, I will invite Tefo, Tandeka. Is there anything you would like to add?
From my side, there is no question. I think Mbali and Manele also covered the concern that some of the parents would always ask what happens after UWC, because that's basically most of the questions that would come. I think that is covered. So we'll be able also, when we have a new set of students, unless there are questions. Precious, anything from your side?
Oh, yes, ma'am, plenty.
Oh, great.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they'll allow me to speak, or will they play the video first? How should we proceed? It's
Go
a
ahead,
comment.
Precious.
All right. One comment. I feel like I've been to Armenia, to UWC, because I'm not a person that's very much on social media or WhatsApp and so forth. But I have been following Bali and Banele's journey through their WhatsApp statuses. I can now view people's statuses and be invested. So they literally took us on a virtual tour in every science lab, in every dance performance Bali had with their peers. It was fascinating to see. The other one, I know this meeting is being recorded. I'm especially me and Matendra, the other colleagues, FISO, are the ones that go and present what's this opportunity that's now coming forward for a scholarship, a 2-year scholarship for some of your learners, the cream of the crop that are there in the schools, to get an opportunity to study abroad for 2 years. The teachers get it, the learners are excited, the parents are hesitant. And especially when you even speak about the academic year starting in August. So these learners currently in their grade 11, come August, they potentially get a scholarship. They travel to UWC Dilijan, and even next year, they'll be in grade 11. I would request, if it's possible, for this recording, and probably we could play snippets of it because it's so rich from all the presentations from the very first speaker up until now. Maybe if the parents can, be played certain snippets of this presentation, all in an effort to make them understand what a tremendous opportunity this is for their children and for our learners. And when we then as Star for Life, especially in partnership with UWC, when we're saying we're empowering young people to realize their dreams. And I think I saw on the very first page of the presentation, it said empowering young people through education. It's exactly what we stand for as Star for Life. And I would love to be able to make a presentation for the parents where they can really, really engage and really maybe even have this rich picture painted to them. What an amazing opportunity this would be for their children. I'll be eternally grateful. One question that came out of my school management team meeting that I had yesterday at Lilanga, which is the school where Mbali and Banele come from. The principal asked, because in the requirements that in an email that you colleagues sent, you said the learner must be enrolled in grade 11 or 12. So the teachers had a question, if a learner is currently in grade 12, when they get to UWC, will they remain in grade 12 or are they going back to grade 11? Because we understand it's a 2-year scholarship. So if you could answer that, I'll be eternally grateful. Thank you.
Thank you, Precious. And I can answer that. The IB is a 2-year diploma and you have to take it in 2 years. The IB doesn't allow students to compress it. It's way too much. It's enough to do in 2 years. There's no way it can be done in 1 year. So any student coming here would come for the 2 years to be able to do the full circle. And of course, we'll support you with any materials you need for your presentation for interested families.
Thank you so much.
I should jump in on that point. But before I just say what I have to say about the applications, eligibility and stuff, I want to acknowledge the kind of work that Star for Life does in not only preparing these students, but finding these students. And we know this is not just something where you just push 3 or 4 kids. This is years of preparation. And so I just want to acknowledge that and pay tribute to that. I also want to acknowledge the kind of work that UWC Dilijan does. As the head of the national committee, we often have just merely the profiles, but then it's only through our students that we find out the kind of resources, kind of effort you put in to make sure UWC experiences are just as magical as they were back in my time as they are now. So I just wanted to put that out there before I say what I've got to say. So in terms of applications, the deadline, once again, is the 5th of February, 2022. The kind of candidate that we look for and we would nominate to Dilijan or to any other UWC is not necessarily somebody who gets straight A's and like is super amazing. Yes, you would be amazing to go to UWC Dilijan and whatever, but the key criteria is if you show the core values of I presume Star for Life, as well as UWC. But moreover, it's this idea that we want to know what you're passionate about, and we want to invest in that. We want to pair you to an opportunity where you can realize these passions, where you can explore. And I say that because that ties into my next point. Each UWC has different profiles of student they prefer, as well as age groups and stuff, which is why I don't know in particular UWC Dilijan's age requirements, which is why we would say at the National Committee, feel free to apply if you're in grade 10, even in grade 12. The age range is between 16 and 19 because different UWCs have different things. Yes, for Star for Life, there are opportunities that are reserved for Star for Life candidates, but should there be more brilliant Star for Life applicants, then there are places for the Star for Life and Dilijan places, we would allocate that student a place or a scholarship at a different UWC. So we encourage you to apply in that range. And even if you're slightly younger, the application experience itself is super valuable and can prepare you for later years and to reapply the following year. So that's the application criteria. Oh, application link. So in short, to apply, you would go to apply.uwc.org and follow the prompts, or you can go directly to the South African application link, which is apply.uwc.org/prog/UWCZA 2022. I'll put it in the chat. If I could figure out how to screen it on my screen, I shall do that too. I'm not sure what else that needs to be mentioned.
Or if it could be sent on the email as well, that would be great. Yeah.
Okay, brilliant. That's doable as well. I'm not sure if there's any other information that you need from the National Committee. We're merely just the middleman between these two great organizations, the school and Star for Life. We're happy to be a facilitator.
All right. No. I think I'm all answered. Thank you so much. Yes.
Thank you, Tefo. And we can put that as an overlay on the video once the video is finalized to make it easy for access for all. Before I show the video, I would like to thank all of you, particularly, obviously, Dan, Christine, Tandeka, Precious, the Star for Life team, for sending us such fantastic students as Mbali and Banele. It's a pleasure to be working with them. Thank you, Tefo, for the work you do in the National Committee of South Africa. Thank you, all of you who've been watching, and the comms team who's been behind the stage preparing all of this and making sure that everything could happen today. It's not easy to arrange events like this and have people in different locations and to coordinate everything. And thank you all for taking the time to learning more about UWC. We leave you with a final video. Good afternoon, good evening, have a great time.